Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Thank you for joining me once again for another episode of Let's Play Wrestling GM. We are here for show 2 in February as we make our way towards our next pay-per-view in this game, as we're taking the Joshi Puro Risu Federation, JPF, trying to make it something and trying to see what we can do in a limited amount of time to push some of our roster. Our very fatigued roster at this point. This entire series is sponsored by Sicko Games, the creators of this game. So if you're interested in seeing more of the game, trying it for yourself, there are links in the description below. Go ahead and click on them, start playing right away. Now, where we last left off, we had some pretty fatigued wrestlers. If we look down here, Mei Izumi is pretty beat, so is Poison at this point. Some of the people are in some lower ends of fatigue, so we gotta have to find a way to balance that out. But I don't necessarily want to not use them for the next show either, so we gotta kind of figure out what we're gonna do here with it. Maybe we'll just do angles and see if that doesn't fatigue them, and then that way they can still be on the show. I think that's probably going to be how we approach it. Poison, though, is a difficult one because we have feuds with both of them. Mei and Leia still having a feud, still considered cold. Poison building a brand new feud against Tano for the championship. So Poison I'm more concerned with than Mei. Because I feel like Poison really needs to use her actions instead of her words in order to be successful in this situation. So that's going to be problematic, certainly. I don't know what we're going to do about that, but we'll certainly see if we can try to do something. All right, let's get on with the show and see if we can book something interesting here while dealing with those fatigue issues, because it's definitely going to become problematic. I think we're going to start the show off with a promo. And probably a challenge with Mei. I think that's going to be something that's going to allow us to use her without having to worry about the situation with her fatigue. Leia is also fatigued a little bit, so I don't think this is going to hurt us too much. But this could be a pretty long. We're going to do like a 10-minute angle where Mei is just rattling off all her list of grievances against Leia, and specifically feeling like she got kind of cheated out of that last match, and that she needs another shot. I think we will also lead that into maybe a 2-on-2 match, and I think we'll have Leia in that match. Who's our openers here? We'll have Princess, and then we'll have Heaven and someone from the mid card that we're not going to use tonight. Maybe Lotus. Kind of a weird because it's a heel and then a face and a heel, but that's fine. We'll have Leia win. Submission. 16. Let's go a little bit shorter. Maybe a 12-minute match. Just so we don't fatigue her too much, but I do want her to have another win there, and build her up a little bit. I think that'll be helpful. Mei will just keep off the show outside of that angle entirely, and I think that'll work out better for us. Feuds, what do we got going on here? Banshee and Hydra and Okuda and Oishi still, Nishimura and Okabe, the broken up tag team, and then Poison and Tano. I think, that should definitely, and then Jasmine and Kita, that's right. We're starting to have something with Jasmine. We haven't really built anything to that yet. So why don't we have an angle where we just have a promo with Jasmine, our Gaijin heel wrestler here. Let's have a promo, 5 minutes, give her a little bit of idea who she is, and I think we'll have her in a match too. Let's try to bump her up pretty far. Let's have her get into something crazy. So maybe the promo is like, I'm a psycho. I'm willing to do anything to succeed. And here we're going to go into a tables match, which is certainly, we don't have anybody that's actually a hardcore wrestler. So, there's that. What is she listed as? She's a cruiserweight. So actually, she should be something more high flying, but we don't really have a match type for that. Though putting her in another match with a high flyer would probably be helpful. Also cruiserweight, so that'll work. Kita, who I think is actually the one that she's in the match with. Table finish, she'll win. 14 minutes seems good. What else do we want to build up here? Well, I think we need to give Oishi and Okuda a win to make it, because they just lost their tag match for the belts. I feel like we need to give them an opportunity to reclaim some of their heat here. Regular match, Okuda and Oishi. And let's find someone that we haven't used on the mid card yet. Omato and though actually, Omato's not in a anything, right? No. Okay, we're fine there. Omato and Jitsuko, they'll be in a tag match together. Have them win. So Okuda will win. Let's have it a little bit longer. 18 minutes, I think, will work nicely. Take up some of that time so we don't have to use that many wrestlers, which would be helpful. And then after the fact, we will have a backstage attack 2-on-2 with Banshee and Hydra attacking Okuda and Oishi. Just still kind of setting up that they're not done with them. They know that they're still trying to challenge, and they're not going to let it slide kind of situation. I think that'll work nicely. 65 minutes. We're getting close to our main card here. So what do we want to do to build up our other feuds? I think we need a like a promo or a challenge even. I think we need to have our former tags talk it out a little bit as we start to build this. Poison also, we need to do something with as well in this show to build up that feud. But right now we got to build up this Nishimori and Okabe situation. And I think we want Okabe to be the one initiating the challenge. I'm just saying, you've always been the one that's been our weak link in this situation. I've held you up. You never held me up. I always, that kind of situation of just feeling like Nishimura is not willing to do everything that she needs to in order to win, and that gives Okabe that fire that is driving her hatred for her former tag team partner. I think that will build that up nicely. Let's have another just talking segment. I think we're just going to have a promo of Poison explaining who she is, why she's so dominant, why she's going to be the next champion. This is going to give her a little bit of time off, which her fatigue is pretty significant. So we're going to give her good 6 or 7 minutes to give her case out and let her talk it out a little bit. And then I think we need a main event. Regular main event. I don't want to go too crazy with the fatigue issue. Who's our main eventers right now? Tano, obviously, being our champion. I don't think we've ever had Ito go after her. So I think that would be a good one. Tano's still going to win. It's not going to be for the championship, obviously, but it'll be a solid match. I think we do submission. And then we'll do a backstage attack as well of Poison attacking Tano. Sort of building that up real quick one. So that would be like a post-match beat down of just she's coming out and walking up the ramp for the win, and then Poison just kind of quickly comes in and attacks her for a little bit. Not like a very intensive one, but just a quick jab, if you will, to attack her. So let's see how this turns out. 104 minutes, so it's a little bit longer. Most of that has to do with some of the match lengths. We didn't use everybody on the card, but we're trying to give some people some rest, so hopefully this works out. So May's challenge to Leia does okay. 38 is not horrible for where we are at. We're building up a little measly 200 fans. Now, May did win the championship, but she wants to fight her again kind of situation. So there's a little bit of that build back and forth of she wants to feel dominant in this situation. We probably should have had Leia be the one challenging, looking at it after the fact, but I think it'll work fine. I'd rather have May get to fans anyways from the situation. So I guess May is calling out and saying, let's do this again. It wasn't definitive enough, and I need to win it definitively. Leia builds herself up a little bit here, gets 50 fans from this. 41, not horrible. She's the weaker link of the two on her team. Princess Kinjo, 41. Heaven, 31, and Lotus is a 40. But Leia gets the win with Princess Kinjo in a exhibition tag match. That's okay. Jasmine's promo goes pretty well. 44's not too bad. Not going to complain about that. That's pretty solid. Jasmine out there talking about why she's dominant, why you should respect her, how she's a foreigner, and she had to learn everything in this environment, and, she thinks she's better than everybody else, and all that other fun heel stuff. And it goes pretty okay. She had a 46, the Angle had a 44. Afterwards, her match is not as good as the promo, but not too bad. It's about where we would expect it for these two. Jasmine's she's got everything going for her here. Look at this. We've got youth, pure, superstar look, cool factor. She only gets 100 fans, builds up on her technical. Her aerials are pretty strong, though. 62. What is 70 for Kita? So not too bad. We might need to put them in a match again, but put them in some kind of high flying match. Find something interesting for them. This match is 40. It's a tables match. I actually kind of expect a little bit higher for it, considering the intensity. Our semi-main event is Okuda and Oishi versus Omato and Jitsuko. It's a 43, again, a little underwhelming, but not horrible. I'm hoping that we get a 42 again for this show. That seems to be the progress that we're making, so that would be nice. This angle afterwards of Banshee and Hydra attacking Oishi and Okuda doesn't do that great. Only 32, which I'm kind of shocked by. What was the... Oh, they only had a 5 and a 6 for this. That's interesting. I still want to know what determines that stat for the losers. It might just be the percentage of what goes into it, how much they're involved in taking the punishment, so it doesn't really matter that much compared to the people that are doing the initiation. But, we had Hydra with 48, Banshee with a 37, gets us a 32. It's not bad, but it's pretty underwhelming, actually, compared to some of our other segments that we had earlier. Speaking of an underwhelming segment as well, Okabe kind of sucked in this. Calling out Nishimura, challenging her, airing her grievances, and getting us a 29, which is the lowest score I think we've ever had for an angle. We're going to have to keep her off the mic. This just did not work for us. Does increase the feud, though, but that's not what we wanted. Now, this is an angle. 44, with Poison looking great. Charisma, very strong at a 70. That is much better. Poison kind of talking about herself doing much better in this situation than what we were looking at in that last angle. Our main event's not bad. 43, was kind of hoping more for a 50, but Tano defeats Ito. Ito only had a 39. Tano had a 45, degrading a little bit in her stamina. So something to look at, I think, but not. It's so insignificant right now, it's not going to matter. And for our main angle at the end of the show, Poison attacks Tano. That's okay. It's a 44. Poison had a 51 in this situation. She looked great, and with her menace was really paying off in this angle, and that gave us a pretty strong conclusion for the show. I don't know if we're gonna get 42. I'm hoping we do, but sometimes we don't, and that's fine. But I definitely want to build up towards like a 45 for that next pay-per-view. So I'm hoping that we're making some type of forward progress here, but we'll find out in a second. 41. It's not that bad. We gained 1,100 fans, more or less. Gained 41 points for it. It's not horrible, but definitely some of those weaker elements here, really these two here, really hindered us. I'm shocked that backstage angle did so poorly for us. I would have thought that would have really worked better. 32 for both of them was kind of shocking. And our main event, I mean, we're kind of limited in terms of their performance. Our main eventers are like, it would be like an A+ if we can get them to 50. So 44 is about what I would expect for them. That's why I said we're pushing for a 45, because that seems like that's a great great show for us. Like a 50 would be phenomenal, but I don't even think we could. I don't think we have the talent pool for that. And unfortunately, we don't have the resources to go ahead and get anybody new yet. So we do gain some more points, some more gold coins. Not enough to buy anybody yet from the freelancers, though it's definitely something that's going to be something we're going to look at, because in terms of free agents out there, there's quite a few. Nobody in the other Japanese promotions. So some of these guys are going to be, way too much, but also these are male wrestlers, and what we're really going to look for is probably some female wrestlers that are going to go nicely with our Joshi Federation. And I think we're probably going to be looking at that Pro Wrestling Athena, which all of them are 10 coins. So if we can hire them with the 10, pulling somebody out of there is probably going to be what we're looking for. We can also convert points into coins, but I think we need a significant amount. Yeah, 2,500. We're nowhere near there yet. In terms of fatigue, how are we looking? Ukita's halfway. Tanaka's healing. Jasmine's a little fatigued. Leia is still just a little fatigued. May is moving back up to just little fatigue, as is Poison. So I think we did what we needed to do. I'm fine with them being in yellow if we maintain that. I just get a little worried when we get to red, because I don't want to just completely blow them out. But I think we're at the point now where we can put them in some things and be comfortable. We still have one show before our go-home show, and then our pay-per-view. So as long as we balance them out, which I think is what we've been doing, they should be okay. Well, that's show 2 in the bag for this February save. Building up towards that next pay-per-view, seemingly staying the course. I think we're pretty okay. Oh, wow. Actually, speaking of which, the May and Leia heat got to warm here. So that feud is building nicely. I would like to actually get that to red hot by the next pay-per-view and really blow that up. And I think that would be great. Overall, though, pretty good show. Not too bad. I think we're in the right direction, and we just got to stay the course and see what we can do as we get to this pay-per-view. All right, guys, thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.